And welcome back. We're picking up where we left off last time in the Long Dark on our Interloper game, where we just made it up to the station bunkhouse in the weather station, which we're going to explore while waiting for an aurora. Part of this exploration is to figure out if we have the resources on hand to wait for an aurora. Because if we don't, then, well, we can't stay here. Because I don't have infinite resources. And, well, we had to get up here, we had to go up a climb, so it's may not have infinite resources, or a good way to get resources up here to wait. Oh, sorry about that. I think that was a belch of some sort that happened on my end. And the gas came up from drinking the tea during the break, I think. Film and film. And the camera to go with the film.
I'm just out of this stuff.
I'm just out of the stuff? You haven't had any the entire run, so you're a little bit more than just out of it. Okay, so there's a jerry can here. We'll go ahead and closer to the door. Looked like there was also one other building to check.
Excellent.
I'm finding mostly soda here. Not the ideal calorie source, but it's calorie waters. Calorie and water. Bird box. Candy box, but it has erasers. Okay. So we got a bunk in here we can sleep in. And we probably will sleep in here at least before we leave.
I need to drop something.
Oop, stairs up are broken. Oh, well, there is still an interior spot we can get into. The interior here is not warm. It's... well, the interior here is warmer than outside. It's not particularly warm, so we were cold for a moment. Blood-soaked page from a journal. They got the science team and sent me. I guess they don't think much of the weather forecast out here. At least I can keep the lights on, but now they tell me the supply deliveries are being halved to something about worker stoppage at the mainland. You can't eat my ammo supplies, so it's just me and the old rifle for now. It should be enough. Okay. Got a safe. Take a moment to open the safe and it. One ruined can of sardines. Okay, that'll last a little bit of time. $26. $27. There we go.
Could end up being
Cash,
useful.
which we really don't need. Okay. Okay, now I just gotta wait for an aurora or give up and leave.
Cold.
That's the problem we're at. Okay, what do I have for food that I can cook? Okay, so I can probably make some rosehip pie. Got about 10 more servings of porridge. And we'll quickly just eat the sardines here. Oh no, we're barely warming the spot here. Let's go ahead and fire up the fire barrel anyway. We'll get at least a little bit cooking up here. So in the skillet, I could go ahead and cook rosehip pie. Give me wakefulness, which is not necessarily what we want right now. Not that I want to go through all the porridge either. The old catch-22.
I'm too tired to think straight.
Okay, I'm gonna assume we're not gonna have a full... We're not gonna have an aurora for a bit. I am gonna do something a little bit weird for the fact that I'm planning on sleeping a lot, which is I'm gonna drink coffee. That's so I just stop taking damage while we're cooking here.
I might have to drop some gear. So we've got like, sort of counterintuitive choices here. I can either sleep in very short bursts,
to maximize the likelihood I get a glimmer fog or something that I can work with. Or I can sleep in a long burst to get a bunch of recovery.
Too much stuff to carry.
Or I can try to split the difference. I think I'm going to try to maximize the recovery. I'm going to go for the full 10-hour snooze. Two cardboard boxes into the bed. Don't expect them to contain anything. Doesn't sound like we got hit with an aurora. May have been hit with a glimmer fog, but I'm less used to recognizing the sound of that. Much recovered from a fatigue standpoint. Not seeing anything immediately in the daylight. Implying I missed anything. There is still cold out here, as one might expect. Fly over. See if I can find any other way up here besides the rope climb, because I'd prefer not have to climb up if I have to bring a bunch of supplies. But that does look to be the only way up. Oh no, we got the... So that was where we came up from. We got this road here. Where does this road go? Well, I think I know where the road goes, but the question is that useful for us? So there was the rope climb we ran into last night. That we didn't install. Yeah, it's something I could have potentially done is backtrack to go do that. But we did have to do a one-directional jump that we couldn't undo to get over here. So once we came down here, we're not going back to do that. And yeah, as I said, just across the bridge is where we needed to go. It might be possible for someone who knows what they're doing to jump that bridge.
Where's the good stuff?
And jump the hole in the bridge. But yeah, I'm not jumping the hole in the bridge. As I said, someone who knows their stuff can probably get across that. I'm like, Okay. In fact, I'm a little sketchy on if you could even go the other way around. Try to take this as a shortcut down. So yeah, I think the way we came up might have been the only way. There are other ways up here from out of zone. Not necessarily other ways up to the very tip where we are. I think we do have to go up that climb.
Wait. I'm so cold, I'm warming up again.
Which, if that's the case, it may make it difficult to get food up here. For staying up here for extended periods of time. We came up from that way. Okay, let's go warm up in the nice hard warm area. This area probably doesn't count as outside for cabin fever purposes. Let's probably just pass some time in here. Okay, that's terrible weather. Visibility went down. How much of a shame I didn't set a fire up outside and do some mapping. This isn't quite blizzard. I think this is like storm weather. Looking to see if there's any indication of... Oops, scare off the ptarmigan. Okay, scare off the... Mostly scare off the one food source we have up here, apparently. Okay, so if I'm desperate, there's ptarmigan up here to eat. I want to try cooking stuff up here to eat. That does appear to be... Oh, we got a second jerry can up here. Boarded up the leg. Okay. Okay, well, we'll harvest this ptarmigan. That'll buy us a little bit more time. I don't think I'm going to bother with this down. I think I'm just going to focus on the meat. And we'll eat a little bit. And then we'll probably be thinking about leaving, honestly. I don't got the resources I need up here to do an extended stay up here. I'll have to figure out someplace to generate food to drag up here. While that's cooking, we'll go ahead and get the meat off of the ptarmigan here. We got 4 feathers, but if you look at it like, yeah, it's going to be like 400, 500 calories to get the ptarmigan meat off. The ptarmigan feathers off. Which is most of the calories on the ptarmigan. Well, that bought us a little bit of time. And, well, I suppose I may actually want some ptarmigan down for bedroll repair. Yeah, we could probably do it having 2 pieces of ptarmigan. We're not going to make it out here. We're going to go back into the harder warm spot. At this point, this definitely looks like a blizzard. Yeah, I'm thinking once I push through this night, if we don't get an aurora this night, we'll have to pull out.
This pack is getting kind of heavy.
Because I'm getting low on supplies. Got a decent amount of fuel, but there isn't enough food up here. And same calories as long as I use either the no tool or the knife, so we'll use the no tool. And yeah, I'm just gonna harvest the 2 sets of feathers. So in theory now I can repair the bedroll. I'm gonna let it take a little bit more damage before we go to repair it. And our quest while we're here is reach the weather station, which is where I believe we are, and search the area using the handheld shortwave, which we have. But this only works during an aurora. So, dice until we get one. And I do need some food to, leave, so we can't, I don't want to stay up here and run all the food out, because, yeah, we got like 7 things of porridge and a little over a day of cattails, but that's kind of what I need to leave if something goes sour. Well, I need like 6 and 4. I also have some bannock that we can make. I need to, or rosehip pie, one of the 2 ways. Sounds like the wind might have gone away, but that doesn't, again, doesn't give us what we want unless the aurora is here. This does not look like an aurora. Got a couple of cardboard boxes down here. Probably not worth the calories to tear them up, but we'll tear them up just to pass the time a little bit. And see what's in them. And this is Interloper, so the answer to what's in them is nothing. But imagine that on, like, Pilgrim, they probably would have had, like, candy bars with stuff in them. Just not an Interloper here. Yeah, so we're passing the time. I will just bite the bullet. We'll harvest the ptarmigan just to pass the time. It is a little, well, it's like 125 more calories than just sleeping would be. I think passing the time, yeah, passing the time is 50 calories more than sleeping. And that's for an hour, and that was like 225 or something like that for an hour, so it's definitely the most calorie inefficient way to pass the hour. But now we got some ptarmigan down. Which honestly probably wasn't worth the effort given the circumstance, but... There's a cooking pot on the table. We don't need it. Let's just pass the time of it. And then sleep a bit. And just fishing for the appropriate weather. I think once we're in proper daylight, we're just, if the weather's decent and it's proper daylight, we're all gonna call it and leave. Yeah, I don't have infinite resources here, and we're running a little desperately low already. Yeah, it sounds like the weather got worse, not better, so we're gonna be stuck here at least until the weather clears.
Too heavy.
But yeah, I think unless we get a glimmer fog and we can find what we're looking for in the glimmer fog, we're gonna have to pull out as soon as the weather clears. Back just to keep the porridge going a little bit longer. Another 500 calories that way. Probably get away with making more bannock or water. Just pass the time on the fire barrel here while we're waiting for the weather to improve. So the rosehip pie obviously takes 8 rosehips, takes some water, basically takes as much as a bannock. I do want to hold on to enough to do at least 1 recipe of rosehip pie. So that means we can make up to 3 recipes of this. do believe you have to eat the whole eat the whole bannock, so we do not want to eat it right now because we'd be wasting some of the calories. But not waste the fire. We'll go around and make one more round of bannock here.
Wonder if I can drop any of this gear.
And yeah, that's the blizzard. Slip back into the weather station bunkhouse. Some reclaimed wood. Don't think there's any places you can put rabbit traps up here that'd be useful. Otherwise, that might be useful, having some reclaimed wood up here. Again, I think I'm going to try to sleep out the blizzard. We'll see if we get a glimmer fog. If we don't, I think we're going to flee from the area in pursuit of, well, basically going back down to the coastal highway to try to drag some food up. We're going to also try a slightly different path on the way out. Doesn't sound like a glimmer fog.
I need to drop something.
No, this is definitely not a glimmer fog. This does look like decent visibly, so if I go ahead and duck in the covered area here, we may be able to do a little bit of mapping just to reveal where this place is on the map from the warm area. Yeah. So maybe if everything goes well, I'll try to make a run over to the sundered Pass to Vissa. Maybe. Maybe, maybe not. I think that's over there. No, that's where we came from, so it's over there-ish? Maybe. Maybe. So I'm gonna duck inside and warm up. Once I'm warmed up, if the glimmer fog hasn't rolled up, I think we're leaving. Also looking at the time, this is an ideal place to put a part break in. The next part will probably be a bit on the longer side as we attempt to leave Southern Pass for hopefully warmer territories. Or, well, more food-laden territories as well. So if you're watching on YouTube, there will be a part up tomorrow. We're going to try to record 2 more parts tonight. If you're watching on Twitch, this is the mid-stream I go get another cup of tea part. This is hopefully going to be a shorter stream, because I'm only going to record the 4 parts, and try to keep them closer to 30 rather than 40 minutes. Because I need to get up fairly early tomorrow. Well, it would have been earlier today. Last night's stream went to 6 a.m. in the morning, so didn't get much sleep last night, and I should get some sleep this night. So I'm going to try to keep the sleep on the stream a little bit on the slower side. Smaller side. Yeah, maybe a little bit slower side as well, but so if you're watching on Twitch, I hope you've been enjoying. I'll be right back as soon as I get that cup of tea. So until the next part, wish you all the best of luck and a good time. Catch you all in the next part, and bye for now.